Hey there, you looking kinda cute. Please consider subscribing and check out our Patreon for more. Enjoy the video. Riley, a 30-year-old trans woman, sat at her desk in the office of a large corporate firm. She had been working here as a secretary for several years. Her desk was organized meticulously, with stacks of papers neatly arranged and a computer that contained a plethora of important documents. She was the go-to person for scheduling meetings, managing agendas, and ensuring everything ran smoothly in the office. The office buzzed with activity, but Riley remained focused. She wore a tailored suit that complemented her figure, paired with a blouse that added a touch of color. Her style was elegant yet professional, a balance she had mastered over her years at the firm. Her colleagues respected her, often coming to her for advice or help with complex tasks. Riley enjoyed the interactions, feeling a sense of accomplishment in her ability to assist and organize. As she typed away at her computer, finalizing the details of an upcoming meeting, her mind briefly wandered to her earlier years. Riley had always known she was a woman, even when the world saw her differently. Her childhood was a time of exploration and, fortunately, understanding. Her parents had noticed her inclination towards feminine things from a very young age. When she played, it was always with dolls and in her mother's heels, dreaming of the day she would wear such things herself. The support of her parents was amazing. They had stood by her side through every step of her transition. She remembered the first time she had discussed hormone therapy with them. They had listened, asked thoughtful questions, and offered their full support. The journey to her true self included hormone treatments, which brought about the physical changes she had longed for. Her body gradually aligned with her identity, and with each passing day, she felt more at home in her own skin. Gender reassignment surgery was another significant milestone. It was a decision she had pondered over for years, and when the day finally came, her parents were there, holding her hand and reassuring her. The surgery was successful, and the recovery, though challenging, was a period of transformation for Riley. She emerged more confident, more in tune with who she was always meant to be. Back in the present, Riley's thoughts were interrupted by the ringing of her phone. She answered with her usual professionalism, addressing a client's query with ease. Work was a place where she felt valued. Her colleagues knew her story and respected her journey. In this office, she was not just a transgender woman, but a woman. She was Riley, a competent and valued member of the team. As the day progressed, Riley handled her responsibilities with her usual efficiency. She organized files, sent out emails, and prepared the conference room for an important meeting. Her role required a keen eye for detail and the ability to multitask, skills she had honed over the years. She felt a sense of pride in her work, knowing that her contribution was essential to the smooth operation of the firm. During her lunch break, Riley sat in the break room enjoying a moment of quiet. Her mind wandered to her personal life. Despite her success at work and the love of her family, there was a loneliness that lingered. She longed for companionship, someone to share her life with. Her past relationships had been complicated, often mired by the challenges of her identity. But she remained hopeful, believing that there was someone out there who would see her for who she truly was. The afternoon passed quickly, and soon it was time to head home. Riley tidied her desk, shutting down her computer and organizing her papers. She said her goodbyes to her colleagues. Riley arrived at her apartment, a cozy place she called home. It was a small, neat space filled with things she loved. She hung her keys on the hook by the door and slipped off her shoes, feeling the soft carpet under her feet. Her apartment was her safe place, where she could be herself without any worries. In her living room, there were comfy chairs, a sofa, and a TV where she liked to watch her favorite shows. Pictures of her family and friends adorned the walls, each one holding a special memory. But the most important part of her home was her bedroom, especially her wardrobe. It was like a treasure chest, filled with clothes that reflected who she was. Dresses, skirts, blouses, and pants, each piece carefully chosen to express her style. Riley walked over to her wardrobe and opened it, looking at the rows of clothes. She remembered the first time she went shopping for women's clothes. It was with her mom. a day filled with excitement and a little bit of nervousness. She had tried on so many outfits, twirling in front of the mirror, feeling a happiness she had never known before. Her mom had been there, offering advice and encouragement, making the day even more special. Her parents had always been there for her, right from the start. They had listened when she told them she felt like a girl, even though she was born in a boy's body. They didn't get angry or upset. Instead, they tried to understand and learn how they could help her. When she talked about wanting to be called Riley and be referred to as she, they respected her wishes. It was a big change for everyone, but they handled it with love. The most significant part of her transition was starting hormone therapy and later, the gender reassignment surgery. Her parents supported her decision and helped her through it. The hormones made changes to her body, making her look more like the girl she always knew she was. The surgery was a big step, but she was sure about it. It was scary, but it felt right. She was lucky to have doctors who were kind and understanding. Sitting on her bed, she felt happy about who she was, but sometimes she felt lonely. Most of her friends were busy with their own lives, and she hadn't found someone special yet. She wanted someone to share her life with, someone who would love her for who she was. The next day, Riley arrived at work. The office was busy as usual, with people rushing about, phones ringing, and the sound of keyboards clicking. Riley settled at her desk, ready to start her day. She had a list of tasks to complete, and she began to work through them, one by one. Mid-morning, while Riley was typing a report, she heard the office door open. She looked up and saw a man walking in with a toolbox. He was the handyman, here to fix some things around the office. He was tall, with a friendly smile and a confident walk. Riley watched as he greeted her boss and then made his way towards the broken air conditioner near her desk. As he worked, Riley couldn't help but notice him. After a while, he looked up and caught her looking. He smiled and said, "Hi, I'm Tom. I'm here to fix a few things. Hope I'm not disturbing you." Riley smiled back. "Hi, I'm Riley. No, you're not disturbing me. It's nice to have someone fix the air conditioner. It gets pretty warm in here." Tom laughed. I can imagine. Offices can be like that. Don't worry, I'll have it working in no time." They chatted a bit more as Tom worked. He asked her about her job, and she explained what she did as a secretary. He seemed genuinely interested, which made Riley feel good. It was nice to talk to someone new, someone who didn't know her past, someone who just saw her as she was now. Once he finished fixing the air conditioner, Tom packed up his tools. Before he left, he turned to Riley and said, "I know this is a long shot, but would it be okay if I got your number? Maybe we could chat more sometime." Riley felt a flutter in her stomach. She wasn't used to this kind of attention, but she liked it. She liked Tom. He was friendly, kind, and he made her laugh. She thought for a moment and then said, "You're a fast one, aren't you? Sure, I'd like that." She wrote down her number and handed it to him. Tom smiled a big smile and said, "Great. I'll text you later then. Have a good day, Riley." "You too, Tom," Riley replied, her heart feeling light and happy. The rest of the day, Riley continued her work. Finally, her phone beeped with a new message. It was Tom. He had texted her just like he said he would. They started chatting, sending messages back and forth. Tom was funny and easy to talk to. He asked her about her favorite movies, books, and what she liked to do in her free time. Riley found herself opening up, telling him about her love for reading and cooking. As the day turned into evening, Riley realized she had been texting Tom for hours. She smiled to herself, feeling a warmth in her heart. It was nice to have someone to talk to, someone who seemed to like her for who she was. Before they said goodnight, Tom asked if she would like to go out with him sometime. Riley's heart skipped a beat. She had hoped he would ask. She quickly typed, "Yes, I'd love to." They agreed to meet on Saturday at a nice restaurant in town. Riley went to bed that night feeling happy and excited. She had a date with Tom, a chance to get to know him better. After a long work week, Saturday arrived and Riley woke up feeling excited and a little nervous. Today was her date with Tom, and she wanted everything to be perfect. She had planned her outfit the night before, choosing a pretty dress that made her feel confident and happy. It was a lovely shade of green that complemented her eyes. A knee length with a soft, flowing fabric. It's a rich emerald green, which beautifully accentuates her eye color. The dress has a fitted bodice with a subtle, elegant scoop neckline that provides a flattering yet modest look. There are delicate cap sleeves, adding a touch of femininity without being too revealing. The waistline is cinched, highlighting her figure, and from there the skirt flares out slightly, giving it a playful, flirty feel while still being sophisticated. The fabric has a light, almost silky texture with a slight sheen, catching the light as she moves. It's comfortable and airy, perfect for a day out. The dress doesn't have any loud patterns, but there's a faint, almost imperceptible texture to the fabric that adds depth to its appearance. This ensemble is completed with a small, tasteful zipper at the back, ensuring a snug fit. After a light breakfast, Riley began getting ready. She took a shower, letting the warm water relax her. After drying off, she carefully shaved, wanting her skin to be smooth. She then moisturized her skin, enjoying the routine that made her feel pampered. Next, Riley began doing her makeup. She started with a foundation that matched her skin tone, followed by a little blush to add color to her cheeks. She applied eyeshadow, a subtle shade that made her eyes stand out. Then, she carefully lined her eyes with eyeliner and finished with a few coats of mascara. For her lips, she chose a soft pink lipstick that added just the right touch. Riley then styled her hair. She blow-dried it and then used a curling iron to add soft waves. She looked at herself in the mirror and smiled. She felt beautiful and ready for her date. Before leaving, Riley spritzed on a bit of her favorite perfume. It had a light, floral scent that she loved. She grabbed her purse, checked herself in the mirror one last time, and left her apartment. The restaurant was a cozy place with a warm atmosphere. Riley arrived a little early, feeling a mix of excitement and nerves. Tom arrived soon after, and when he saw her, his face lit up with a smile. "Riley, you look amazing," he said, and Riley felt her heart flutter. They were seated at a table near the window, and the waiter brought them menus. They ordered their food and began to chat. The conversation flowed easily, just like their texts. They talked about their jobs, their hobbies, and their favorite things. Tom was easy to talk to, and Riley found herself opening up to him more than she usually would on a first date. They talked about movies they liked, books they had read, and places they wanted to visit. Tom told funny stories that made Riley laugh, and she shared stories of her own. The time flew by, and before they knew it, they had been talking for hours. After dinner, they decided to take a walk. The evening was cool and clear, perfect for a stroll. They walked side by side, talking and laughing. Riley felt comfortable with Tom, like she could be herself without any worries. As the night came to an end, they found themselves outside Riley's apartment building. Tom turned to her and said, "I had a really great time tonight, Riley. I hope we can do this again." Riley smiled, feeling a warmth in her heart. "I had a great time too, Tom. I'd like that." There was a moment of silence, and then Tom leaned in and kissed her. It was a gentle, sweet kiss that made Riley's heart race. When they pulled apart, they both smiled. "Good night, Riley," Tom said. "Good night, Tom," Riley replied. She watched him walk away, feeling a happiness she hadn't felt in a long time. The days after her first date with Tom were filled with excitement for Riley. They texted each other often, sharing little details of their day, funny jokes, and making plans for their next date. Tom suggested they go to the local Carnival fair, and Riley thought it was a wonderful idea. She had always enjoyed carnivals, with their bright lights, fun games, and delicious treats. On the day of their date, Riley woke up feeling happy and full of energy. She spent the morning picking out what to wear, finally deciding on a casual, comfortable outfit that was perfect for a day at the fair. She wore her favorite jeans, a pretty top, and sneakers, ideal for walking around and enjoying the rides. Riley met Tom at the entrance of the carnival. The place was full with people, colorful lights, and the sound of laughter and music. Tom's face lit up when he saw her, and he greeted her with a big smile. "You look great, Riley. Ready to have some fun?" Riley nodded, her excitement growing. "Absolutely, let's go." They started with some of the gentler rides, laughing and screaming in delight as they spun and twirled. Tom was adventurous and encouraged Riley to try rides she had never been on before. She felt a rush as they soared through the air on a roller coaster, the wind in their hair. After the rides, they played some carnival games. Tom was surprisingly good at throwing rings and won Riley a cute stuffed animal. She laughed and thanked him, feeling a warm glow of happiness. It was nice to be with someone who made her feel so carefree and joyful. As the afternoon turned into evening, they walked around, holding hands and looking at all the carnival had to offer. They stopped at a booth selling cotton candy, and Tom bought them each a big, fluffy stick. Riley hadn't had cotton candy in years, and she savored the sweet, sticky treat, smiling at how it melted in her mouth. They watched a clown juggling and making balloon animals, clapping along with the other spectators. Then they tried their luck at the duck pond game, laughing as they tried to catch the little floating ducks with a net. As the sky darkened, the carnival lights shone even brighter, turning the place into a magical wonderland. They decided to go on the Ferris wheel, and as they rose up into the sky, the view took Riley's breath away. The whole carnival spread out below them, a tapestry of lights and movement. Sitting at the top of the Ferris wheel, Riley and Tom talked about how much they like each other. Riley felt a sense of peace and happiness, something she hadn't felt in a long time. Eventually, the Ferris wheel brought them back down to the ground. They walked hand in hand, not wanting the night to end. They found a quiet bench and sat down, looking up at the stars. The night was cool and clear, perfect for stargazing. It was then that Riley decided to share something important with Tom. She took a deep breath and said, "Tom, there's something I need to tell you. I think it's important that you know I'm transgender." Tom looked at her, his expression calm and understanding. He took her hand and said, "Riley, you are in luck. I don't care. I love trans girls, and I like you for who you are." They sat there for a while longer, talking and looking at the stars. The night was peaceful, and Riley felt a sense of contentment. She was with someone who accepted her, someone who liked her just as she was. It was a wonderful feeling. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out Patreon for a lot more content and early access to YouTube videos.